Hi, today we're going to try to make some ricotta cheese. I remember when I was younger, I would watch my grandfather make it. He used to use a little mop to gently stir the bottom to make sure it doesn't get scorched. I'm going to stick with that tradition, and I'm going to use a barbecue brush. So, I don't know. I've never made this before. I've seen my grandfather make it. I've been looking at it online, and doesn't seem that hard. And online, that what they're saying is just use a spatula every couple minutes just to keep it from scorching. Now, time's going to be critical. I'm sorry, temperature is going to be a critical parameter here. So we're going to make sure that the temperature is. We're going to slowly bring it up to about 185 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now what I'm doing, I'm boiling some water in the pot to sterilize it, and then I'm going to dip this in here and do my best to sterilize it. Certain surfaces can't be sterilized. I've got a colander, and I've got a spoon. I washed those, and then I wiped them down with some isopropyl alcohol. So hopefully, they'll be sterile enough for this process. Again, I've never made this before. I have no idea what to expect. So let's get started. Okay, so the recipe that I'm following actually calls for 1 gallon of milk. I have plans on making some baked ziti, so I'm going to use this in the baked ziti, so I figured I'd make a little bit more. So what I have here is 1.5 gallons of milk and half a pint of heavy cream. We're going to need citric acid. All right, you can get this in Walmart or pretty much anywhere they have canning supplies. You're going to need about 1.5 teaspoons of that, and then we're going to have 1.5 teaspoon of salt. So you're also going to need thermometer. Okay, I just bought this one. I didn't clean and sanitize it yet. I want to make sure that the temperature is right, since temperature is so critical. So I have some ice water here, and it says to check the temperature of the ice water. Make sure it's about 32. Now that ice water's been sitting for about, I don't know, 5 minutes. And hello? There we go. It's probably about 34, so maybe 36. All right. What I'm going to do is when the water boils, I'm going to put it in the boiling water. You know, boiling water is 212 degrees. So when everything's all set, I'll be back. Thanks. Okay, so we started adding the heat and the milk and everything at 5:56. I'm just going to note the time, so this way you could calculate how much time it would take to do it. You know, from what I understand, it's not very long. The longest amount of time is actually there's a point after the curds are formed where you just have to cover it and let it sit for 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just give it a quick brush, make sure everything's okay, and now we're going to add citric acid and and salt. This is kosher salt. Yeah, you can't use iodized salt. It won't work. So just give it a gentle stir. Make sure it gets all distributed. And as it heats up, you want it to heat up slowly. You want it to get to 185, and it should take about 20 minutes to get to that temperature. Okay. Now I calibrated my thermometer. Everything's good, and I know we've got a long way to go. We're only at about room temperature here. So I'm just going to watch over this, and as the temperature comes up, when we get close, I'll be back. All right. Okay, so I've decided to make a change. I'm going to use a spatula, and this is why. I don't know how my grandfather did it, but as you can see, the curds are sticking to the mop. So I'm going to dump the mop idea. So much for tradition. And I'm gonna stir every couple minutes. Just pass it along the bottom. Make sure that it's not scorching. I don't want to break up the curds. You could see the curds forming. And you could see them, right? Yeah, you could see the curds forming. So, okay, so again, I'll be back once the temperature's up. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. You can see a good development of curds there. And I just stirred it, and you'll see the temperature. We still got quite a bit to go. It's only about 120. All right, you don't want to walk away from this. I'm sorry for the shakiness. I'm using my phone. Okay, so far so good. And we will, sorry. Yeah, so we'll be back. Okay, so it's actually been probably almost 40 minutes to bring it almost up to temperature. I guess I'm being a little cautious, being my first time. So we're looking for about 185. I'm going to take this off in a couple minutes. We're at about 179. I'll get it to about 182. And then we're going to take it off the heat, set it aside, and cover it. But right now I want to just pay close attention, make sure it doesn't get scorched. And then I'll be back once it comes up to temperature. Whoa. Okay, so we're up to temperature. I took it off the heat. And now you can see we got some good curds there, and we're going to cover it for about 20 minutes to a half hour, and then we'll be back. Okay, so we let it sit, and you can see that. Can you see that? It sat for about a half hour. That milkiness is the whey, and this is the curds. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour it into here, and we're going to strain it. Now this is not cheesecloth. This is a flour sack. If you go to Walmart and you go in the aisle where they have the dish rags and all that stuff, you'll find them. $1.97 for one. You can use it, and you could wash it when you're done and use it over and over. So I have no camera person, so I'm doing this all on my own. Let me see if I can rig something up here, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to Oops. Yeah, it's a little messier than I thought. But so far I'm very happy with, I don't know if you can see. Smells like ricotta. Okay, so we're empty. All right. So now I'm going to tie the corners opposite. I'm going to do a double knot. Then I'm going to do the other corners. I'm going to come through, then through. I don't know if you saw that or not. Sorry. And just give that a quick tie. And then what you want to do is you want to suspend it. So put it all that way. Alright, so what I have here is some butcher's twine. Just going to tie it up real quick with the butcher's twine. And I'll tie it around the knobs and make a mess. Son of a gun. Try that again. It's kind of heavy. I really don't know how good it is for the cabinet door, but not so neat, chef. See, I'm a klutz. Okay, so what we have is we've got quite a bit, and we're going to let that drain for about a half hour or so, maybe more. I want it to be a little bit thicker and not so creamy. So when we get to that point, I'll be back. Thank you. All right. Well, this is I don't know. I've been draining this for a couple hours, and it's still kind of loose. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'll use this for my baked ziti tomorrow. But that's basically it. Kind of happy with the results. I'm just going to season that, and tomorrow we're going to tackle the mozzarella. Thanks for watching.